Yeah, good afternoon, colleagues. Let's start with our meeting. Honorable Premier, Honorable Dr. Poppy Ramatua, Honorable MEC Mahwai, the DG and the HOD of Provincial Treasury, and your entourage, the Chair of Portfolio Committee on Provincial Treasury, AGSA, members of SCOPA, the staff of the legislature, and members of the public connected to different media platforms. Good afternoon and welcome to the public hearing. Today we are having the Office of the Premier and the Provincial Treasury in-house, who are going to take us through the support that they are giving to different departments. You'll remember that the two offices got a clean audit, which we appreciate. We are saying they are leading by example. Premier, we appreciate your availability. We know that you have a very hectic schedule. We appreciate that you were able to make space to come and account and also give an overview of what is happening within the government of Limpopo in terms of the audit outcomes and in terms of the issues that may contribute to the better quality financial statements, and those which we have observed that they are also affecting us negatively. As the leader of the government and the Office of the Treasury and SCOPA, you are part of the oversight ecosystem that ensures that the audit outcomes are improved within the department. We are going to approach today's meeting differently. Usually, and we believe that you have got questions that you have to respond. That is a standard practice. But we are also going to start by giving an overview of the issues that we picked up as and when different departments were appearing, which may not necessarily be resolutions that we are presenting to you just for noting, so that as and when you have the executive meetings, those are some of the issues that you must highlight to the members of the Executive Council. And from there, we will also go to number 4, where you are going to give us progress on the transversal issues and other House resolutions that you were supposed to implement. And lastly, and of interest, the issue of the 3D entities, in particular the sustainability plan. Like I've said, we are going to approach it differently. Before you can even go to the issues where you are going to present, we are just going to give an overview of issues for noting. And maybe as you are going to deal with the transversal issues and responding, you may also touch on them in terms of how are we going to approach them, or how can we be assisted in terms of making sure that those issues are dealt with, because we believe that they just need your intervention in terms of advising the members of Executive Council. We like I've indicated, the issue of sustainability plan of the 3D. Remember, Premier, in the last public hearing, we spoke about this issue, and we have got a resolution about the 3D entities. And that resolution is often misinterpreted. But to me, or to the committee, is a very clear and a very reasonable resolution. And it's a resolution of SCOPA. Please let's note that it's a resolution of SCOPA. That resolution is saying the 3D entities, because of their performance that they can't sustain themselves, they may not be funded by the fiscus of the province. However, we further said they must submit a sustainability plan to SCOPA for assessment every financial year. And we advise the Treasury that we are of the view that indeed they are doing something about their situation. Let's fund them. That is what the resolution is saying. But to our surprise, Honorable Premier, leader and the 3 entities will have that sustainability plan. We see it through other means. They will not come to SCOPA. They will submit it to the Treasury. They will submit it to the office of the Premier, which is very good because we are part of the accounting ecosystem. But you don't have that resolution. That resolution belongs here. We believe that it should be submitted. They must come and make a presentation. We ask questions so that when you come, we engage you on that, and we have a collective agreement or a collective approach to say we are satisfied indeed that they are on the right track. Let them be funded. But the other issue is that the Treasury also, when they come to the budgets, they don't even check with us to say, do you have this document that you are having? What are you saying? They just proceed with the allocation. And that is why we will always lament that they are not doing the right thing. And now we take it as we are undermined. Because that resolution, Honorable MEC, is not your resolution. It is our resolution. At least a courtesy to say, they have given us this one. We are preparing the budget. What is the way forward? And we'll say, they have also presented. We are satisfied, then continue. But to our surprise, they just, the department just implement without consulting us. And we don't know if the House can ask us that because you presented a resolution, we adopted it, then what? We are going to be embarrassed in that, in the House, and they will be very right. So we are just noting that. So today we are expecting a progress. And remember, Honorable Premier, you also said, please give me space with your team to ensure that you make interventions on these issues. And our understanding was that you will come and say, no, I am here in terms of the intervention, at least to brief us where we are in terms of the 3D. Because those entities are very critical in improving the economy of the province. Very, very critical. So if we don't take that resolution very serious and the intervention strategies very serious, we just subject them to paperwork and put them on the shelves. We are making a very serious challenge that we may not be able to deal with in future. Look at our GNT. A public transport that needs to be sustained for the people of Limpopo. There are challenges there, and we will want to know how are you dealing with that particular issue. So these are some of the things that we will raise, and we'll also allow members some few minutes just to raise those which they have observed. But before I even go further, maybe let's deal with the issue of introductions. Then I'll come back to raise some of these issues and allow members just 10 minutes just to highlight some of those issues that the Premier must note before you make your own presentation. We're going to start with the introduction of members of the public accounts, starting with myself. I am Esther Mukweli, the chairperson of SCOPA, and we will introduce ourselves anti-clockwise.
Good afternoon, Chair, honorable members, our honorable Dr. Premier and the MEC of Treasury, and all our colleagues. My name is Honorable Faith Sibopela, member of SCOPA.
Thank you very much, Chair, for affording me an opportunity to introduce myself as well. And greetings to Honorable Premier and the MEC for Treasury and your team, your HODs as well. My name is Maseka Piedi, Chairperson of on Treasury, Limpopo.
Good afternoon, Chair, and afternoon, Premier, MEC, DG, and HODs, and colleagues. My name is Thabo Maboja. I'm a member of the committee.
Thanks very much, Chair. Greetings to all of us who managed to be part of this meeting. My name is Pesima Chete, member of this committee.
Thank you, Chairperson, our Premier, and your entourage. My name is Honorable TC Nempumburuni, a member of SCOPA.
Thank you, Chair, and greetings to everyone, particularly to the Premier and the collective. I'm the Warren Nenguda, a designated member of this committee. I thank you.
Legislature staff.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Honorable Premier, Honorable MEC, Honorable Chairperson, and members, as well as colleagues. My name is William Kari. I'm the Committee Coordinator of Public Accounts Committee. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Chairperson. Good afternoon, Honorable Premier, Honorable MEC, Honorable members, and everyone present here. My name is Nhlanhla Rekotso, and I'm a researcher supporting the Standing Committee on Public Accounts. Thank you.
Good afternoon, honorable members and colleagues. My name is Jerry Shirinda. I'm the researcher.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, Honorable Premier, Honorable MEC, and members of the SCOPA. My name is Tikileti Shadu, Committee Coordinator of SCOPA Committee. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Tamara Kaiser, Committee Coordinator, Portfolio Committee on Provincial Treasury. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair, Honorable Premier, and Honorable MEC. My name is Tawiso Tansa, Protocol, Limpopo Legislature.
Good afternoon, our Legislative Communication Services. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Putile Khanyane. I'm a researcher based in the ANC caucus. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Kathy Mamabulo, the Committee Legal Advisor.
Okay, thank you very much. Office of the Auditor General.
Good afternoon once again, Honorable Chair, to Honorable members, to the Honorable Premier, Honorable MEC, DG, HOD, and colleagues. I'm Mohamed Essa from the Auditor General, and with me is Catherine Khrovia. Thank you.
Okay, Provincial Treasurer.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair.
Okay, maybe let's introduce our support on the committee first. Yeah, yeah. No, today's the other side. Today, yeah, you can.
Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Chocho Matabo from Limpopo Provincial Treasury, Governance, Monitoring and Compliance, Legislature Oversight Subunit. Thank you.
Yeah, is your time now, MEC?
Thank you, Honorable.
Yeah. Honorable Mahai. Oh, is that okay?
Yes. Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair, and afternoon to fellow members of the legislatures who are members of the SCOPA and of staff. Today, you can see that we have a full delegation comprising of both the Department of Treasury, Finance, and also the Office of the Premier. That is why last time I introduced everybody, and that resulted into some of the members of the delegation not having to have opened their mouth throughout the proceeding. So allow me to allow each and everyone to greet the House and say their full names. My name is Popera Matuba, the Premier of Limpopo Province.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Premier, and Honorable members. The senior officials present, my name is Khabu Mawai, MEC for Finance.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, Honorable members, Honorable Premier and the Honorable MEC, and the colleagues. My name is Mr. Napen Chavelain, Director General, Limpopo. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, Honorable members, Honorable Premier, Honorable MEC, and let me say colleagues. My name is Gavin Pratt, the Head of Provincial Treasury.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, Honorable members, Honorable Premier, DG, and HOD, and colleagues. I'm AGSA. I'm the Acting Accountant General for the Limpopo from Treasury.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, Honorable Premier, MEC, all protocols observed. My name is Portia Semenya. I am the Deputy Director General responsible for Sustainable Resource Management in Limpopo Provincial Treasury.
Good morning, good afternoon, Honorable Chairperson, honorable members of the committee, Honorable Premier, Honorable MEC, the DG, the AGSA, and colleagues. The Premier said we must mention all our names. I'm Martin Colin Abnam Mapeteke Sehlapele, the Deputy Director General responsible for institutional development support in the Office of the Premier.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, members. Afternoon, Premier, MEC, DG and HOD, AGSA, and colleagues. My name is Tibacho Juana. I am the CFO of Office of the Premier.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, Honorable Premier, Honorable
members, our DG, Honorable MEC, colleagues, I'm Magdalene Molepo, responsible for internal control and compliance in the Office of the Premier.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Premier, MEC, members of the House, and DG, HOD, and AG, and colleagues. All protocols observed. Moses Chitangano, Internal Audit.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, Honorable Premier, Honorable MEC, all protocol observed. My name is Jolene Sibesho. I'm the Director and the DG Support. Thank you.
Afternoon, Honorable Chair, members, Premier, MEC, DG, HOD, and AG. My name is Malrotum Patlele, Internal Control and Compliance, Provincial Treasury.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable members, Premier, MEC, DG, AG, colleagues. My name is Rudzani Murobi, Acting Deputy Director General, Office of the Premier.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, Honorable members, Honorable Premier, Honorable MEC, HOD, DG, AG, and colleagues. My name is Maputle Mawela, CFO Treasury.
Good afternoon, Chair. I'll write on the protocol already observed. My name is Puti Musomani. I'm the Acting Deputy Director General for Planning, Coordination, Monitoring, and Evaluation in the Office of the Premier.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, Honorable members, Honorable Premier, our DG and our HOD, and the AGSA and colleagues. My name is Mohadi Betirakubu, the Acting DDG, Asset Liability and Supply Chain, Treasury. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, good afternoon. I stand on the established protocol. My name is Ndabera Makwera, Provincial Government spokesperson.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, Honorable Premier. I also stand on the established protocol. My name is Nyambeni Machiwa. I'm the Chief of Staff.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair. I also stand on the protocol already established. My name is Hope Muranga-Shlida, and I'm the Economic Advisor to the Premier.
Good afternoon, Chair. Allow me to also stand on the established protocol. My name is Pumuzo Mampiswana, MEC Support, Limpopo Provincial Treasury.
Thank you very much. Do we have
Afternoon, Tlangelan Ngobeni, support staff to the MEC of Finance in the province.
Good afternoon. May I also be allowed to stand on the established protocol? My name is Sidwell Sbanda, HOD Support, Provincial Treasurer.
Yeah, Comrade Lekganyane, I was to say the political party researchers staff, are they here? You introduce yourself, okay. All right, thank you very much. On apologies, Mr. Mkar, do you have apologies?
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. We have got the following apologies. We have got Honorable Mahasela Mantata. We have got another apology from Honorable Sebotoma. We have another apology from Honorable Machomani M.A. We have Honorable Mapolo.
Did you say? Did they apologize or we are just taking a lot of our apologies?
Honorable Mapolo, we have Honorable Smale. We also have an apology from Mr. Choshi, our researcher. I think those are the apologies that we have on record. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. No, I was just checking if indeed the apologies were received or we are just taking it that because they are absent, we record it as an apology. You'll realize, honorable members and colleagues, that we don't have the opposition parties, all of them, who are part of the committee in the meeting, and that is really concerning because the next thing we'll see statements flying on issues that they were not even part of it. They did not even hear what the respondents said about the same issues that they are raising. So I'm just raising that concern that because this is our last public hearing, at least we should have prioritized it. We know that there are commitments, but at least if we were to be full house, it was going to assist. Are there apologies from your side, Honorable Premier?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. We are full house.
Thank you very much. Yeah, like I've said, Premier, let me just take this opportunity again to raise some of the issues that I wanted to raise for noting, or if you maybe have to say something during the discussions, you can be able to highlight. I've already highlighted the issue of the SCOPA resolution. The other issue is that we want to congratulate the government of Limpopo in terms of the financial statements and the general audit outcomes that we are improving. It's not only that we had 5 departments and 1 entity that got clean audit, but even when we go through the public hearings and they are accounting, we could see that indeed something is happening within those departments. And I think we can be able to build from that foundation that we will see ourselves having all the departments getting the clean audit. And what is also giving us hope is that Department of Health did not incur any irregular expenditure for the financial year 2024-2025, which is a step in the right direction. Because once you are able to deal with the issue of compliance, remember, irregular expenditure is an issue of compliance. If we start to comply, then we are on the right track. If we are able to come up with quality financial statements and strengthen our internal controls, deal with the issue of consequence management. Earlier when we had a briefing, AGSA indicated that indeed, if you comply, to get a clean audit is very easy because you just have to comply. And they're showing you to comply, you might have to do 1, 2, 3. Look at the present legislation. But we are raising this concern. There is a new thing that is coming with a new term now. We usually talk about the consultants. In previously, the AG used to raise that Limpopo is one province that in municipalities, they are relying much on the consultants. And in the last briefing, when we had a briefing with the AG, May Tsakane Maluleka indicated that they are still concerned. That thing is still there. It might have been reduced, but it is still there. And indicated that in this case, we must make sure that when there is this issue of consultant, let's have a clear program or a clear a plan of skills transfer. It can't just be an open and ended thing. And let them come when they have to deal with specific issues, not on the basics. So during the hearings, we have seen many departments, are about 2 or 3, talking about the probity auditors. agree these things when they start small, and they put it in nice English to say they are probity auditors. They come and assist them in the financial statement. But if you are not careful, we are going the route that the municipalities are going. We'll have a full-time consultant dealing with the issues. Department of Health is one that is having a probity auditors. At least the results are good because they did not incur any, but we don't encourage it to continue. They must give us on their stay in that department. How did they transfer the skills? And we give chance for those people who were empowered to see if they can do this on their own. Department of Coxta as well is also having that a challenge. So I'm raising it, MEC and Premier, that we must just take note of it, that thing is emerging. Everything starts small, and by the time we want to deal with it is very big, and it's very difficult to eradicate it. So we want to indicate that before we started with the public hearings this year, we were able to meet with the Law Enforcement Agency, the SIU, the Hawks Police, the state attorneys. And they indicated their challenges in terms, because our concern was, why are these cases taking a long time? They raised the lack of capacity. And with the state attorney, they just said they don't have capacity and they don't promise anything other than what is happening now, which is very concerning. They were seated there. They just said, Rena kamkhwano, and there's nothing that we can do further. We don't have capacity. We are confronted with a lot of cases, to an extent that you find that one official or one attorney has more than 2,000 cases. And that is a challenge. So we spoke about this last year. Maybe you'll give us progress on your intervention in terms of the state attorneys. So the Hawks are also indicating that they are trying their best, but the only challenge is that they don't get information that they want to, they want. The loss of documents, they cited health, that you go to health, you look for information, then there's a problem. And that is what is delaying their investigation. The SIU also has indicated, but with the SIU, I want to raise this issue. And maybe in your executive meeting, you clarify it, because they gave us the cases that they are having. We compared those cases that they gave us with what the departments are saying, these cases with the SIU. For example, there is a case of land towards land. The department is saying is with the SIU. The SIU does not have that case. It does not. It means it was, because we will only saying it is with the SIU when there is a proclamation by the president. So that case was never proclaimed. And in their reports every year, they report that, because it is because the SIU came and requested some documents. And that does not mean proclamation. It was just a determination, because what they do, the SIU, they request some documents to see indeed if this case can be presented for proclamation to the president. So up to so far, we're not sure if they felt that it can be proclaimed, or they're still busy in assessing the case. But it is for sure that the case is not proclaimed and is an old case, which has the risk of staying on the books of the Coxta for a very long time. And Coxta is one department that we were eyeing to say, going forward, it can be one which can get clean audits. But with these cases that are not dealt with, then is a challenge. So that is why MEC and Premier, we said last year, and we've got a resolution. Maybe you'll tell us how far are you with that resolution? We said, please collect all the cases from all the departments. Let them be centralized in your department. I don't know how you administratively deal with those things, but they be with you so that you are able to assist in terms of tracing these cases. So we have got the SIU cases here. Many of the departments that are saying they are with the SIU, they are not there. And every time when they respond, they say this case is with the SIU. So this is something that you have to intervene. And the other thing that we have noted is that departments don't make follow-ups on the cases. It's only GAL. GAL, when they were coming here, in their file there were letters to the Hawks, to the police to say, how far is this case? How far is this case? But others, they just say, no, it's with the Hawks. We have reported it to the police. We have got a case from Department of Agriculture where a service provider was paid, where service was not rendered. It's an old case, 2022, 2023, or 2023, 2024. It's still there. But when you ask, they say it has been reported to the police. The case number, do we make follow-ups? Then is a challenge. So some of these cases will be lost within the cracks, because especially when the AG has not raised it, then that case namely there is a case of RAL where they overpaid a service provider 7 million. And that service provider was willing to say, no, I am aware. Can we make arrangements so that we process this payment? I pay back. It was reported in 2024, 2023, 2024. We said, why are you not processing it? 2024, 2025, when they were coming to account, they said, no, this issue is with the legal opinion. Why do you take this to the legal opinion where the service provider is acknowledging that indeed you paid me more, and I want to bring that? Just give me the account. In a layman's language, we can just say, just give me the account number, then I pay back the money. But it's still going to the legal opinion. So these are some of the issues, Honorable Premier, that we want you to note and ensure that there's a follow-up and there is an implementation of these things, the recovery, because we need to follow the money. And we feel that there's no progress on these issues. So these are some of the issues that we wanted you to note, not necessarily to respond, but engage the relevant people that where is this person who said he will bring the money, but you are not assisting him or her to bring that money back to the department. So these are some of the issues we wanted to raise. And I requested members to say, because yourself, when the departments are coming in, you are also noting the areas that we will just cry. I agree, we are crying on you, Premier. We may be out of order, but because there's no way where we can reconcile frustrations. And some of these issues that we are raising may not necessarily be resolutions. We just want you to be aware, and then during your engagement with different MECs, raise them to say, deal with this issue. There's this issue. Why are you not dealing with it? Because some of them are just low-hanging fruit. I'm just going to give members just some few minutes, just go straight to the issues, just to raise to the. There's also issues that you have noted. Please note it and please deal with it. If maybe the Office of the Premier will want the details of this, we can also compile a document and present them to the Premier, so that as and when she makes an intervention, she also have the background of the issues that we can do. But now we just wanted to lament, and please pardon us for that. So, Honorable Nempumpulane, let's be short, just to raise it, and then if they need more, then we will compile. Comrade, Honorable Sobopela. Apo Premier ke bereka double shift engwe ke dia so and then shift engwe ke di honorables so le skala makalele ke mix. Yeah.
Only issue going straight forward. There is the issue of GNT, where the CFO and the COO were suspended, and while in suspension, there was just an agreement to pay 3 months settlement agreement by the former board members, while the disciplinary hearing was still underway. So as a committee, we just seek clarity if the allegations leveled against the CEO, CFO, and COO were resolved or not, and how the board arrived at the determination of 3 months settlement. And the other one is already indicated on the sustainability plan of leader. And the last one is on the lifestyle audit resolution, that the institution are having financial challenges around the implementation of the resolution. But however, due to the challenges, it was reported that the decision taken on the HOD forum held on the 21st February 2024 was that the function will be centralized at office of the Premier. So as SCOPA, we want to know the progress report on the implementation of the lifestyle audit, taking into account that it is now full 2 years and 3 months with no movement. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Maybe on the GNT one, it's not for noting. I think as and when you are going to present, you'll also clarify this issue. Thank you. Honorable Mabucha.
Thank you very much, Chair, and greetings to you, Premier. We take time not seeing you, so hey, the issues are many, but we'll just try to summarize them. Chair, I just want to deal with the first matter, that is the issue of New Era Life. You know, Chair, we have had countless meetings with New Era. And the truth of the matter is, we don't think that whether the executives there or the board at leader takes this committee serious, or whether it is they're afraid of the CEO of New Era and the entire management of New Era. Chair, we have had the resolution as this committee that New Era, I think that we took that resolution last year, that New Era, actually they made a commitment that by the end of the financial year, they are going to relocate and come operate in this province, because the people of this province don't really know what New Era does, but there is money that is being channeled towards New Era to keep it afloat. But what we are getting out of New Era, we are not really getting value for money for our people. So, Premier, the reason why I'm saying that we take time not meeting you is that we have raised these frustrations quite a number of times, and a lot of commitments have been made and they've been dishonored. So we really want to understand, because we know that they've lost their license, The only thing that they can do is that they can retain, they've retained what they currently have. And then they can attract new customers, they can attract new business because their license is suspended. Can we have an honest reflection, Premier, about new era? Is it really bringing value for the people of Limpopo, given the large chunk of money that we are paying? Number two, it's our relationship with the Solicitor General. Because, Premier, we have had numerous encounters with departments. A department will come with its litigation report. On that litigation report, you will see there's no way that you are not going to find more than 5 default judgments. And when you try to probe further, you would be told, or no, we gave instructions. We gave instructions to the state attorney. However, there was another one, Chair, whereby we were told that the advocate arrived 5 minutes late, a default judgment was granted. Now the department must pay certain millions. So we're like, but the state attorney is not a messenger, Premier. Doesn't courier applications from departments to the High Court and then from the court to the department. The department equally must act as a responsible client. Departments have to act as a responsible clients because they're giving instructions to the state attorney. You can't just give instructions and then throw your hands in the air and then just wait for something. So we're saying to you, Premier, that there is a problem between, we don't know, we have not yet diagnosed it properly, but we think that there are certain loopholes within the system between the state attorney and departments. So we really need you to assist or give clarity to us on that. And then the other issue is on the vacancies in the provincial administration. Premier, there are departments that have got, I mean, for example, there is a Department of Health, whereby, you know, you'd find that, more especially on nurses, you'd find that there are 5 nurses that are going on pension. And then, not 5, 20 nurses that are going on pension. And then, when the department recruits, it recruits 5. You have lost 20, you recruit 5. So, but the general question here is that when are the departments going to advertise all funded posts? And then, yeah, I think, Chair, I will just summarize my questions here unless I'm provoked. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Honorable Swopeng.
Thank you, Chair. My first one is on the condonment of the regular expenditure of 4 billion in RAL, while there was still a forensic investigation going on by the department. Based on this anomaly, we want to check with the Provincial Treasury if they can explain to the SCOPA on some of the legislations that could be applicable in this situation. And also that would have led to the decision of the condoning of that irregular expenditure while there was still an ongoing investigation. The honorable members would have spoken to the sustainability of LEADER and GAL, but with regards to the operations that LEADER, we know that both of these entities, they continue to depend on the provincial funding, and sustainability is only projected to be around 2030 in these entities. The entity of LEADER is unable to also settle their creditors, including the AGSA office, There's been letters of demand being issued several times to the entity with no response. How is Treasury going to assist this entity in this regard? The last one, Chair, the National AG has proposed that SCOPA should consider to invite audit committees to our hearings. Want to check if whether with Treasury the proposal is doable since it's going to involve a lot of money from their side. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. I think these are some of the issues that we picked up as and when we go through the public hearings that we thought we should just highlight. That may not necessarily be part of the the resolutions to the House or the motions to the House, but they are very critical that they be noted and then they be dealt with. But the other thing is that, and our researcher is showing me something, you know, with new era, and I don't want to say some of the people will come here and I don't know how nice can I put it. Yeah, they become very economic with the truth. They will say, no, don't worry. On the 1st of May, we are coming to the province, we'll be in the province. And I said to them, 1st of May is a holiday, we will not be going to work. I'll see you on the 4th of May because it will be Monday. I went there Monday. I found the CEO and chairs and tables, nothing on there was nothing. But the other issue is that we have embarked on a research because we intend to do an oversight, especially to the GNT and the new era. So there is information, and the latest information is that we are saying they must come back, they must come back. When they were there doing a pre-assessment, they indicated no, when they have got a lease agreement which will only end in 2027, 31st of March 2027. Whereas when they come here and say we are relocating next week, they are just not telling us the truth. And this is an assessment that we have made in many cases. They just come here and lie, but let me just say they lie. It's true that they are lying. A lie is a lie. They will not just give you the correct information. And when you pursue that question, you can see the frustration within the people. That is and I was saying to them, we know that some of these things are legal. Why don't you just say, it is like this, not that this is where I found it and I am not sure what to do for now. It's a very fair and honest issue. But they come and give us something else. So it means that we are going to take a lot of time to resolve some of the challenges. And that is why most of the challenges within the department can't be resolved, because they don't give us credible information. And I think that is where we should start, to say, give us what is there. It doesn't matter how ugly it is. We will panel beat it until it becomes a product that we want. So here is the information now. They are saying we are relocating, but when we get deeper, they say no, but our lease agreement is up to 2027. So you can see what we are dealing with, and that I think the only breakthrough a premier, it can be through your office. That is our belief. So these are some of the issues that we believe that, please note them, but these ones which are related to the 3D, we are expecting that as we are going to take us through, they will be answered. We were very angry with them the other day. We had a combined with Audit, SCOPA, and other department. They were here. So it was only that I got. It was only then that I got that the resignation. Remember when they were appearing here, January, they just said no. The CFO and the CEO resigned. they could not even take us through or have a courtesy to say, we entered into a particular agreement. So it shows now, or in that meeting, that was not just a resignation. That was a sort of an agreement to say, no, you resign. And the letter the letter of resignation also indicates that I am resigning based on the agreement on the 2nd of December. And they appeared here in February or March, but they could not even favor us with that particular explanation. That is why we are saying honesty is one issue that we must instill within our public servants and accounting officers, that it does not, the truth always has a way to come out. So we only found out now that there was a sort of a handshake of some sort. Those people did not, maybe they were prepared to go through the disciplinary hearings, we don't know. So that is a challenge, and we believe that Lena, you will tell us what you know. An apology, AG, I did not render your apology. You indicated that you have got other commitments, and it's already, you said by 4:30. Ne? So, my apologies, I forgot. You can be released. Thank you very much. Yeah. Honorable Machete and Honorable Mabucha, just a short one.
Thanks very much. Just on the issues with regard to challenges in the office of the state attorney, can we get a sense in terms of how is the office of the premier planning to assist the institutions in this regard? The other question will relate to probity auditors. The sense that we would want to get is, why is the office of the premier and the Limpopo Provincial Treasury not capacitating internal control divisions to avoid the use of external services? The last question would relate to consequence management. Let's just to get a sense as to how far is the Office of the Premier ensuring that there is consequence management, but equally also give us a sense in relation to the implementation of the developed framework as to whether it is yielding positive results or not. I think I would pause there, Chair, in the interest of time.
I think Honorable Mabucha, the last one. Yeah. And please be very short so that we don't lose focus on.
Yes. The other issue, Chair, is on the lifestyle audit. That departments would come here, present a report. In their report, they would say, on the issue of lifestyle audit, there is a circular from the Office of the Premier, which prohibits them from conducting lifestyle audit, as that function is centralized in the Office of the Premier. And therefore, they would come in, year out, that no, we have referred all these matters to the Office of the Premier. Therefore, that particular aspect remains hanging. Even when they come to account in the next financial year, that issue on lifestyle audit will still remain hanging. The last one, Chair, is that report of, there was a forensic investigation that was done by, I think it's LGB, whereby board members went to organize a trip to Las Vegas, and then one board member couldn't go, and then wherein he couldn't go, they then shifted the blame to the PA of the CEO, that this PA consequence management must be taken against the PA of the CEO. So we're just saying to you, Premier, that it's good that you got clean audit. So these departments and entities, when they want to take action, consequence management, they take consequence management at intents. So we are saying that this is a very serious problem to us, Premier, because our understanding is that interns are young graduates fresh from university, they are still in training. Therefore, how does an intern take such a serious get such a serious consequence management directed towards them? So we're just saying, Premier, Chair, we need to meet the Premier quite more often because the issues are main. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, members. And Premier and the MEC. Most of these issues that we are raising, Honorable Premier, like I said, it's just counting because that is what we got as and when we go through the different departments. But there are those which you can deal with it or you can respond, especially those related to the 3D, because we know that we are going to have a presentation. We would say maybe let's not put you on the spot to respond, but as and when you are going to respond to the presentation, you can highlight especially where the issues were raised. Premier.
No, thanks. Greetings once more, Chairperson. Chairperson, we take note of all the comments and the concerns, including the questions that honorable members have raised, and want to reassure you that when the HOD and the DG will be responding, they will try to cover almost all those, because from the questions that you have just raised, it's very clear that in terms of the two departments on their own, there are no issues that members of SCOPA are worried about. Mostly the issues are on our key function of monitoring and providing support to all the departments, state-owned entities, including our municipalities. But from where I'm sitting, what I can just confirm, Honorable Mabuja, is that a lifestyle audit has not been centralized. And I think whoever has made that it's economic with the truth, if I'm to copy your language. I can give you an example. Department of Public Works, Roads and Infrastructure has done a lifestyle audit on all those that deals with supply chain, from the CFO until to the most junior admin officer within that particular unit. And the SIU has presented the report. That is how one is able to even pick up that you'll find an employee at level 7 owning 4 vehicles, owning a big property. It's things that the department on its own has been able to do that, and they've used a credible institution, which is an SIU. You might have even seen that they've already implemented some of the recommendations. For instance, the CFO was found wanting to say she cannot be heading such a portfolio, and has been moved to another unit while we're following labor relation processes. So there is no department that must come here and say we have centralized lifestyle audits. It's easier to just shift the blame and not be doing the work that you need to do. It's now, you are now advising us as the Office of the Premier to say we must go and do lifestyle audit for all of them, because it means they don't want to do the lifestyle audit, and they are making conclusion that the Office of the Premier is the one that is centralizing. We are not doing that. There's also another issue which I think it has been repeated by honorable members is the challenges on the issues of the state attorneys and also the Solicitor General. Yes, that is a challenge that we are faced with, because unfortunately, as departments, including the Office of the Premier, you can't go on your own and start to look for your own senior counsel to brief on cases. You would have to go through the state attorneys. I think I've seen how terrible it is. When I was in the health department, one tried to even write to the Solicitor General to say, I am going to ignore and break this protocol and go straight to brief a senior counsel that I would be sure that we're going to win. Because some of these cases you would see as an MEC to say, but really, this case, it was deliberate, as honorable members are raising here. So it was deliberate. We've lost this case unnecessary. And that award of 30 million, which is given to that cerebral palsy baby, 28 million, it's going to the hands of the lawyers. 2 million, you are told that's the one that will go to the baby. And when you look at the judgment itself, the bulk, that 28 million probably was as a result of saying it's future medical treatment. But two days after that money has been paid by the same state, that child goes and consults in the very same state hospital, which is funded by the same fiscals that have just funded that case, just given that award which has been made. And then if you go deeper, truly speaking, honorable members, it's people can say we're just accusing them unnecessary, but for the fact of the matter is that human beings and money, I always say it's like giving, putting a mice in a bag full of peanuts and expect to find them being intact, irrespective of how educated you are. So there could be collusion wherein we agree as state attorneys to say we will be able to give this case to this senior counsel. And this particular senior counsel, whatever they lose the case, the agreement is that with the other advocate representing the client or the victim of medical legal negligence, people will end up sharing the money. That is very true, which the country needs to deal with. I'm not sure whether we'll need another Madlanga commission to be focusing on the state attorneys. You might have seen there are famous cases. A former minister of Home Affairs, Dr. Mtsoleri, had a case with the fugitive, the Malawian fugitive, wherein we found that the same senior counsel who was briefed. You'll remember such cases. So we are also worried. We are also worried where we are sitting to say, is it as transparent as it is? And unfortunately, they get the profession that some of the honorable members, like the one who's concerned here, belongs to. Unfortunately, it's always most of the time found wanting. But we take your point. We will not stop from fighting, honorable members, on this matter. I felt this one I need to respond because our HOD and DG might not be empowered to can attack state entities, which we need to be open as politicians who are elected by the people to represent the people. So we take note of that. We are still going to look into that. And on these issues of the 3Ds, bringing the reports before the budget, you're quite right, Honorable Chair. That has been the resolution which has been taken during the 6th administration, it has not been rescinded up to so far. And that is supposed to be what needs to happen. So perhaps to give you an update following on what we discussed previously, we then appointed an interministerial committee comprising of ourselves as OTP and Treasury, but inclusive also of those departments that are affected, the LIDED and also transport and community safety, wherein it then assists us to say that turnaround strategy that they've developed, the IMC go through it, and when the IMC agrees with it, then the IMC will then, through us, bring it, present it. It means, and then agreement was that on a quarterly basis, DG, we will be coming to brief you as the SCOPA to say this is where we are. We have tried to make progress in some of our state-owned entities, because your emphasis on the fact that those are our hope towards winning, especially in terms of our #1 priority of inclusive economic growth with job creation. It's our state-owned entities. We expect leader to be able to lead us when it comes to driving economic growth through investment, through investors. We expect the Musina Makado SEZ, which is now what I think the HOD will, the DG will also be taking us through on that. We are now starting to see progress. The issue of land that has been a problem has been resolved. The bulk infrastructure, which was a challenge, now we've seen service bulk infrastructure. It's no longer a bush like when I went there previously. Now we are starting to see dust happening within the Musina Makado. Already we have received our first tenant, who is the Minister of Electricity. We are currently now busy with the 1,000 hectare that will be focusing on renewable energy. So you can see that once the minister, together with ESCOM and the investors, would come on board and be our first tenant there, then it will then attract even other investors. So you will see we're making progress. The long-standing challenge of the CEO has been resolved, and we have appointed a CEO. They will take you through the Fitahomutubatsi, which has been a challenge because we did not have the license. It has not been gazetted. Finally, we did receive a letter from the minister. It has been gazetted. Cabinet is approved. And that is the progress. Now, we are now in the process of recruitment of the board, and we would not want to repeat the mistakes that were done in the past, by making sure that even board members, we get those that are well skilled. But equally, even those that are skilled, you are not looking for instance, if you look at the corridor mines, if you have got a mine like Sifateng, who do you put there as your board? Do you put people who are in the mining sector themselves? Because whatever decision that they take, they are looking at their own interest. But if you look for people who have got the skills, have got capacity, but you know there are still those people out there who are interested in the economic growth of our province, such that those are the type of the people that we really need to say when we appoint for boards. And also take away the issue of saying we're not going to just take because somebody has been in politics more than any other. That is what is killing. We need to professionalize our boards and because we've seen that appointing those who are our own comrades alone, we are not going anywhere. If we professionalize the boards, but equally with those whom we are professionalizing, are they not the capitalists who are looking at themselves, not necessarily looking at because we believe that state-owned entity must be able to attract those professionals and people who understand the business, who understand the economy, who understand the sector, depending on the type of the business. But the bottom line is they should be able to say, we are serving in this board as my own social responsibility, not because we don't pay. And if you come there, you're not sitting at DBS board where per sitting you can be paid an annual a salary of some of us, but you are sitting in the board which will pay you a stipend just for your convenience. Therefore, it means you must go there to say, I want to contribute to my people, to say this is, I have done my social responsibility as a professional and as a business person. So that's what we are saying we have learned from this. You can say that because look at GNT, that there has been settlement. Some of us also, we had by grapevines that there have been a settlement for that. But what we can indicate to you is that the board it's normal. We have made the intervention. We have looked at, because the biggest challenge of GNT is issues of finance, accounting. That is where the problem is. Hence, you could see that we then had to say somebody will be in the interim there assisting that team. You need to have a chief operational officer within that team, and also somebody who will be like an accounting officer coming from the chartered accountant profession to then assist us. And we're starting to see progress. We're not really happy, but at least finally you might have seen for yourself the buses that we promised you when we were here last time. The buses are beginning to be delivered, even though there is one that we really second appointed there to go and assist. And after 2 weeks, when we started delivering the bus, he says, you see, that's why I was deployed to GNT. The buses, I said, I've never seen such the fastest procurement process, which took 2 weeks, and the buses were ordered and the buses are delivered. But either way, we have seen that we are starting. Personally, I visited our depot and I was not happy in quite a number of our depot. That is why we needed to bring that particular intervention. I'm raising this because honorable members must understand we did acknowledge in our previous visit that we are not going to abscond in terms of our responsibility as Office of the Premier. The good, the bad, and the ugly still remain with the Office of the Premier of whatever happens in whatever departments. Then, because our priority and our key performance is inclusive growth, that's why our 3D entities are our priority currently. New Era, they've lost the license, we've taken a resolution. We just need to follow due process and finalize that process. It's some of the things that we can't just pronounce here. When tomorrow I might be served with court papers. I'm just coming from court not so long ago. I'm served, I think, every day. My team it's in court to defend the decisions that we are taking. But what we are proud is to say we've started to note that the judges are beginning to be as sober as judges, because in most of the time when we are taken to court, they really look at what was our interest, which is representing the ordinary people. It was not about our own self-interest. Whatever decision we're taking, it's not about individuals or elevating ourselves. It's about serving the people. So those are some of the areas that I said we needed to. Maybe Honorable Chair, through you, Honorable Mabucha, in terms of this post, especially in the Department of Health, We need to be open and honest with each other. It's something that I have taken both the MEC and the HOD to task, together with their DDG for corporate service. Because you can't, when there is a circular for voluntary early retirement with those incentives, that resolution, it was not saying even those who are your skilled, your scarce skills professionals, you must allow them. I always give an example to say MEC for agriculture. You can't say when then your agricultural specialist come and say, I'm leaving, when you know you have got no any other person, and quickly approve. So the Department of Health, what they did, they put us into the problem that we are in, the crisis that we are in. People who took advantage, they saw that majority, it's your professionals, your nurses. Nurses, those skills one, the ICU one. Because they've been working throughout their years and they are tired. Because they've been working, they now want to rest. And those who have not been working, they still want to continue until they are 65. But those who have been working, they're saying enough is enough. And then they took, and then they just approve without questioning. In the process of saying approve, you are not filling in. And I keep on giving an example. Any professional who during COVID-19 has no luxury of working virtually, you can't just let go. Admin officers, us here, we could meet virtually. Finance, we can sign electronically. But a nurse and a doctor can't nurse a patient virtually. You must be on the bedside. So that is why they are tired. Because even during COVID, they were working. Now you allow them to go. How long are you going to replace? You can't just allow them to go and your process of filling the post takes time. So we have really taken them to task on that matter. Because even with this second batch, we have seen that the people who have applied in that department, it's exactly the very same one. Those ones who have left have told those ones, you get your package, you still get your pay, your monthly salary. So who doesn't want that? You will still get paid every month and you are sitting at home, no more having to encounter the premier one day, coming and find you starting to work at 9, start to take the anger on you. They're happy to go home. Who will want to stay there? So those who are remaining are those that you don't necessarily probably need to stay in there. So we are hoping that they are going to postpone, advise all these applicants to say, we note your application. We are going to start the recruitment process based on your intention to vacate your post. As soon as we fill in your post, we will then release you. So that will be the only other way that we can do. And then we can be able to make sure that hospitals remain. Because currently, our clinics even regress from 24 hours because nurses have taken the voluntary package. MEC, I'm not sure, before I could hand over to the DG and HOD, I will then invite the MEC Mawai, to take us through some of his comments.
Thank you, Madam Premier, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. I think the Premier has covered quite a lot. I just want to acknowledge and accept the clarification made by the Chair on the implementation of the resolution on the 3D, in how she interpreted and what should be the case. It might have been an oversight or misinterpretation, and we'll take you from there, ensure that going forward, we'll ensure that the submission is done appropriately, and even before budget tabling, etc. I think that was more straightforward. The other one, perhaps to just accept also and acknowledge, is the fact that, you know, if you look at the nature of the Solicitor General, it is highly centralized and it is not spread out enough. It's more of a national functionary than provinces. And it is true that on that basis, there is a loophole, or rather missing links. And maybe the advice we may take is to ensure that perhaps we strengthen our own internal legal services so that at initiation process, we're able to process whatever is to be taken there, so that by the time we refer it, the internal homework has been done. I think part of this oversight work is the wisdom that you share with us to ensure that we put certain measures that will address certain institutional weaknesses provided by the unitary nature of our state that at times may deprive provinces of adequate coverage, especially. And I think as the Premier is present here, we can elaborate further outside of this meeting to address some of the observations made out there. The rest I will really defer to the senior officials that they could deal with, but I think in the main, what the Premier has just shared and what I've just tried to address immediately will suffice for now to allow the mandarins of the state to be specific on most of the matters referred. I thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Before you give to the DG and the HOD, we really appreciate some of the clarifications, Premier and MSc. And that is why we say we are here to lament about some of the issues that cannot necessarily be formalized, but they are there. So you need to be aware of those issues. On the issue of the state attorney, I think we know the legal prescripts or the regulations about it, but let's come up with a way to empower it to function. They even stated that in the Department of Health we have got 2 admitted attorneys, and health is the most affected department. Why don't we just at a particular time they send those people to come and deal with this backlog, Jaga Health, and go back to their just to go to I think they are trying to say, do you see us? You can assist us. So they mentioned the health that there are 2 admitted attorneys. Just, unfortunately, that I don't know the difference between an attorney and advocate, but they said something like that. So I think these are some of the things that should be considered to assist some of these cases that we are having. Premier, we are preparing an oversight visit to the GNT. Well, there might be improvements, but you find that in one depot there is only 1 bus in Palabro, only 1 bus operating, only 1. Workers are just there every day and then they sleep because there's nothing that they can do. So we believe that after this oversight of the new era in the GNT, we will request you to come again and then just explain a first-hand information on what is actually transpiring. You can imagine Palabra, the whole depot with 1 bus, but every day about 50 people are coming to work in the same area. So these are some of the challenges that we are having. But the other thing is the issue of tabling, and we want to come out of this with this resolution. The first one is the resolution on the Honorable Sopela raised it on the audit committees, that we have a meeting with audit committees, even if you can be a 1 meeting per financial year is fine. We have also agreed that we will, every time before we go to the public hearings, we will call the law enforcement agencies, the Hawks, the SIU, and all this, to come and just get the state of the cases. How far are we? And I think in future, in the next meeting, we are going to invite you so that we are able to get first information and also see how are they going to affect our next audit outcomes, because they do affect. If the case is there, it will always be there for a very long time, and it will always be cited by the AG. So we need to assist the department to clear that. That's the first issue, resolution that we must get out here, having audit committees. The second one, all the departments, including the Office of the Treasury and the Office of the Premier, we know that it is very difficult to go to the House and give them the progress on the resolutions. So this first question, always on the House resolution, is always the same answer. We usually don't have chance. And as honorable members, we can see that indeed it's difficult to come and present. So our recommendation is, why don't we just centralize these things and we task the leader of governance, Honorable Makamu, to report back on behalf of all these departments. Maybe if it is only one person on behalf of everybody, it might be easy. We will decide whether today I'm taking education and health and brief the House the next week, just like that. Maybe it can be better, because if you have to involve 12 people to come and stand before the House and present, it might be difficult. But if it is him, the Babam schedule in such a way that maybe a fortnight is given a slot to deal with this House resolution, because it is only quarterly agreed that they need to be given. So we are just recommending that, if possible, a Premier, you deal with it at that level, executive, to say from now on, all the resolutions as and when they need to be presented, let's centralize them, give the leader of business, and then so that we don't have resolutions for the sake of resolution that we know that we'll never be able to implement. So we are going to allow you to take us through the first item, which is the questions and responses. So we will not go the usual way to say who is responsible. You only have 2 questions in this regard, on the House resolution and the audit opinion, unqualified, with no matters of what. You can just take us through your presentation, and then we will request the questions after your presentation. But most of the issues have been raised and most of the questions have been answered. So if as and when we are dealing with it, if this matter has been dealt with, you can just indicate that this issue, I think it has been dealt with. Or if there was a question on the same matter or another matter, you can indicate that there was a question, and here is how we are responding on it. Premier.
Dr. Popira Matuba, Limpopo Premier. Chairperson, I will request you to allow me to invite the Director General to take us through.
My name is Napen Chavele, Director General. Greetings to once more to the leadership. With your permission and also your guidance that you have already flagged on, I'll want to, if of course with your permission, just to use the table of contents as a basis to give that kind of a strategic overview, because it does list the pages and the annexures thereof. Then on areas, in terms of areas of emphasis, particularly on matters of financial management, once more with the permission of the chairperson and the honorable members, the HOD Treasury will then elaborate on some of the issues. And as you indicated, a number of issues are recurring, largely based on the observation which has already been made, that we never really have a system to track the resolutions and then conclude on those. Then the first question, in a sense, it has been dealt with, the House resolution under table of contents. Then I will not repeat the way we will want to reiterate to do it, because we have already gave a directive on it. Then on audit opinions, the province has actually, by the province I'm referring to the Executive Council, has adopted what we generally refer to as the Provincial Operation Clean Audit Strategy, which over the years has actually indicated a progressive improvement on the audit outcomes, and that is essentially the end product of that exercise, and we have attached the necessary evidence to in terms of the audit outcomes as far as the provincial administration is concerned, which means that because this audit strategy is reviewed every year after the end of the audit outcome, then it does deal with issues of how do we then retain the clean audits in departments that have received clean audits, and secondly, it also account on put measures in place on departments that still need to improve progressively towards the clean audit opinions. Then hence I said that when you do a trend analysis, you can indeed confirm that there is an overall improvement in the province. And then with that aspect is also dealing with the subsequent issues that are restated once more in the subsequent page. Then I'm not going to repeat that. And then on matters related to transversal issues, which is essentially the bulk of our questions. Equally so, the irregular expenditure at the level of the administration, we do we've developed a strategy towards the reduction of maybe holistically unwanted expenditure, which will be irregular expenditure, fruitless expenditure, and wasteful expenditure. And then on a quarterly basis, we do submit a report to EXCO, and then equally so, the supplementary reports that we have submitted, provided here as annexures, does indicate that we are improving on reducing the unwanted expenditure. But if the honorable members want us to go into specifics, we'll be happy to talk to the reports themselves. Then the other issue also relates to matters of contingent liabilities, which indeed the province has developed a litigation strategy as per the directives of SCOPA, whereby the Office of the Premier has actually developed that strategy, which then guides how the departments should deal with matters related to litigations. And then equally so, we've established a provincial forum whereby it is actually constituted by senior officials whom are responsible for legal services across all the departments. But of course, as the honorable members have already made observation, there are still some challenges, either as in some departments, especially the big departments that have got a high number of lawsuits, particularly the Department of Health, and then recently even the Department of Education has had a similar challenge. And then also the issue relating to the capacity of the state attorney. Without regurgitating what the Honorable Premier has already alluded to, I presume that the honorable members know that this is a national entity. Then even if we engage with the Solicitor General, and then if we even interacted with the former DG of the Department of Justice to express our concerns. But then they said that they've developed their internal turnaround strategy to make sure that the Office of Solicitor General has got requisite capacity, which means that the impact is largely depending on the Department of Justice and the entity itself in terms of implementing the turnaround strategy. Of course, the options that we have also considered on was to consult our lawyers directly without going through them, and we realized that the applicable legislation doesn't allow that. Then which means that if you do that, then we are just actually creating a condition for another fruitless or wasteful expenditure, which then would be found wanting to clarify, because we won't say we were not aware. Then the issue is just to develop a strategy, to develop a mechanism, internal mechanisms with the Department of Justice and the Solicitor General to make sure that we make them accountable. But those are the objective constraints that we are essentially confronted with. Then, of course, I've also already dealt with the subsequent issue that deals with the audit opinions for improvement on the last 3 or 4 financial years. Then I will not repeat it. On the quality of AFS, with regards to 2021-22 financial year, just to guide the honorable members to have an idea of where am I, because it doesn't have page numbers. Indeed, the Provincial Treasury has developed a requisite intervention plan, including supporting the CFO, offices of the CFO across the departments and the provincial entities. And then, of course, we are also making reference to annexures there. Page 8, annexure 4.1, 10, 11, etc., which actually provides evidence that indeed the work is being done. And of course, the consequential improvement of the audit outcomes is a reflection of this investment. Then on matters related to AROPS, the Office of the Premier on a quarter, actually immediately after each cycle, we do coordinate, develop a coordinated intervention strategy to share with departments and guide them on how they should actually deal with matters related to AROPS. And of course, we'll indeed, based on your recommendation, we'll follow through on it, because some departments have made some significant improvement while others are still having their own challenges. And then this is tabled on a half-yearly basis, both at the level of the HOD's forum and the Executive Council. Then the subsequent item, I've also already dealt with it to say Limpopo Provincial Treasury does do the necessary support. And one of the conditions here is that we have developed a framework which clearly says that before any item is condoned or any irregular expenditure is condoned through the body that you have earlier referred to, there should be evidence provided for by the HOD to say he or she has done the necessary investigation on the basis of the recommendation of that investigation report. If there are corrective measures that must be invoked, then there should be evidence to prove that indeed those corrective measures have been implemented. If either or has not been complied with, in other words, if the investigation report is not done, or if the corrective the findings or the recommendations of the report are not implemented, we simply disapprove the condonement. We refer that application back to the relevant accounting officer. Of course, equally so, even at the level of EXCO, we do submit a standing quarterly report on unwanted expenditure, so that the MECs and the honorable MECs and the honorable Premier are aware of those the outstanding matters. Of course, there is still a room for further improvement, making sure that then the Office of the Premier is able to advise the honorable Premier on areas that, in our view, we think that they are not being implemented regardless of the available advice. Then that's the area that we wanted to focus on in the current financial year. And then, of course, they have, in a sense, also made reference to consequence management. The Executive Council has adopted integrated consequence management framework, which clearly defines the responsibilities of the EAs in terms of implementing issues of consequence management, the responsibilities of the accounting officers, and the responsibility of senior managements across departments. Then, in other words, I would then want to express a view which says that no one should come to EXCO and say, no, they don't know their respective responsibilities. Of course, that doesn't mean we abdicate the responsibility of the Office of the Premier to follow suit in terms of making sure that the framework is duly implemented. And that's the priority which we wanted to focus on in the current term of the administration. Of all matters related to 3D entities, LEADER and its subsidiaries and GAL, the Honorable Premier has already elaborated on the matter. The only point that I wanted to be emphatic on is that actually to date, there is some kind of a mixture of outcomes. There are some subsidiaries that are beginning to turn around within the LEADER itself, and there are some that are still stagnant. And then, with the permission of the honorable members, I'll just quickly elaborate on that. The LEADER, as the mother body, for a lack of a better word, their interventions are actually beginning to improve. In other words, the functions that are centralized at LEADER group level. For instance, one, in terms of the turnaround strategy that has already been adopted by the IMC, of course, noting that it was not yet presented to SCOPA. One of the key priorities was that they will commence with the organizational review process so that they reduce the COE aspect of LEADER. Because when we started with when we commenced on the turnaround strategy, we realized that the organizational structure was last reviewed plus minus 10 years back. And then a lot of changes have actually happened during the course of that. And then on the basis of that, then we directed them to do the organizational review process, which is concluded. And then in the last meeting, which took place in May this year, they indicated that now they are implementing the organizational review process, which will then have a very slim organizational structure relative to the previous one. The second one was the issue relating to the ring-fencing of the development finance budget. Because prior to that, the legislature will allocate budget for cooperatives and SMMEs. Then when they spend the budget, they just divert the money internally to do other things. Then we directed them that because this is a critical developmental mandate, they need to ring-fence that, and they've already done that. Then the other issue was to transform or to implement change management with regards to portfolio, property portfolio. And because that is actually what we have recommended, that they may need to ring-fence that budget. Now they get that property revenue from property portfolio instead of reinvesting into the properties themselves to make sure that they are modernized, efficient, and effective. They will then redirect the revenue to another stream. Then they are equally working on that. They did an analysis on property management portfolio. They've costed which assets are falling within that portfolio, what are the strategic properties that they want to retain, what are the ones that they want to actually sell. And then we are monitoring that exercise. And with regards to the subsidiaries, I'll be very quick here. You have got RISIMA, which is financially self-sufficient. Then the issue there, in terms of corporate governance, was that as they generate revenue, they may actually have to pay back to Treasury or LEADER, and then they've not been doing that. Then it's an issue that we are focusing it, so that it can allow some element of cross-subsidization within the LEADER group, rather than to generate more profit and then they keep it, while government does not get its return on investment, and equally so, other LEADER subsidiaries have got some challenges. Of course, the honorable members have already, and then the honorable Premier has already elaborated on the GNT. I will not regurgitate the issues there. Then there are 3 or 4 subsidiaries that have got some kind of challenges. We've got Limpopo Connection, whereby the condition for its sustainability was to get a strategic partner. Actually, the EXCO resolution, when they gave them a seed capital or seed funding of approximately 600 million, the condition was that they use that money to secure a strategic partner. But for whatever reasons, they were not able to do so till today. But then, in the last IMC meeting, the Honorable Premier has referred to, they were directed that if they fail to get a strategic partner in the current financial year, then we should then venture into a disestablishment phase. But at the personal level, it is actually a paradox, just to share with the honorable members, in the sense that the Limpopo Connection is mandated to transform or to advance digital transformation, which is a necessary condition to have a competitive economy in the modern era. Then if we disestablish it, then it essentially means that we still have a strategy to deal with issues related to digital economy. But that's the issue that the Executive Council will apply its mind on and make a determination. And then the other subsidiary which is not doing well on, and then the honorable members have already spoken to, is New Era. Then I'm not going to repeat what the honorable Premier has already said. The last one under that portfolio is CMR, which all things being the same, we believe that it should actually be able to subsidize the state because it is venturing into a lucrative industry, the mining sector. But for some reasons, it's not doing well. Then the Honorable Premier has already made an expression on it that we are the EXCO will focus on it to make sure that it turns around. Then those are the issues as far as, the last entity is the which I normally feel guilty when I talk about GAL. Yeah, GAL, they've presented their turnaround strategy. We endorsed it, but for whatever reasons, it is not being implemented. And the observation that the EXCO has made was that it is largely due to challenges of leadership at the level of the board and the executive management. Hence, then the board was allowed to lapse, and then now the Executive Council, through the leadership of the Honorable Premier, are attending to the matter so that we revitalize this critical entity. But we believe that it will not be financially sustainable in the near future, due to both objective and subjective factors, which we can elaborate on if the honorable members direct us to. Then the support to provincial entities, I've already referred to it, then I need not to repeat it. Issues of non-implementation of forensic reports. We actually, again, on a quarterly basis through Provincial Treasury, track all the forensic reports that have been commissioned by the provincial government. And our view is that a significant of such, the recommendations are actually being implemented. There may be some few exceptions that are not moving very well on, but we are tracking them. And we have also availed a report with regards to that. The recent one, with the permission of the Honorable Premier, was the investigation report commissioned with regards to RAL, and then it is actually being finalized. Then as soon as it is being finalized, we'll make sure that it is duly implemented. Then on the subsequent page deals with the same issues, financial statements that I've already spoken to, AROPS I've already spoken to, irregular unwanted expenditure I've already spoken to, issues of assets management, Provincial Treasury can elaborate on such, and then of course contingent liabilities I've already indicated that we do have the legal forum that is dealing with such issues with support of both Treasury and the Office of the Premier. And then the 3 entities are coming back, then I've dealt with it. consequence management, I deal with it. Vacancies in the provincial administration. This is also one of the dicey issues, whereby in the past, HODs will either appear to the Audit Steering Committee or SCOPA to say, no, they are unable to fill posts because of PPMC. And then now they've accepted that actually this is not a problem of the structure. Every year, normally around April or early May, EXCO approves a consolidated post that must be advertised in that financial year. But for whatever reasons, you find that at the departmental level, there will be some delays here and there. But we do present a quarterly report to EXCO to actually give the strategic oversight on it. Recently, the Executive Council has directed that all the advertised posts must be filled by September this year. And then we are indeed tracking the process accordingly. Then tabling of the resolution, I think the Honorable Chair has already gave guidance on it, then we'll simply follow suit. Then I think at the, in conclusion, overall, Honorable Members, we believe that the provincial administration is on a right trajectory, especially when you do a year-to-year analysis on the overall performance of the provincial administration. But that does not negate the fact that there are still some critical matters that may indeed need serious attention, and indeed we are focusing on that. The issue of SIU report, just to feedback to the honorable members to give it context. The reason versus the towards land acquisition, the department commissioned an investigation report, which then part of its recommendation was that some officials must actually be investigated criminally, with a possibility of being criminally charged. Then the matter was referred to the Hawks. And then for quite a number of years, the Hawks kept on saying they are investigating the matter. Then I just checked with the HOD Malahlela, HOD for Coxstar, when we were raising the issue, because I thought it is the Hawks. Then she said, no, it is the Hawks itself which referred the matter to the SIU. But we'll follow up on it so that there is certainty on it. Because if it is referred to the SIU, then there must be proclamation, and we are not aware of such. And on other related SIU reports, we believe that most of them have been, the ones that were commissioned for the provincial administration have been implemented in the province. There were an SIU report related to COVID-19 pandemic. It was fully implemented. Then the only one which was outstanding due to lack of records was with regards to RAM. And then, of course, the GNT issue, we have established a technical committee, the issue of the pensions, which is currently finalizing. The actuary team has been appointed, and they've actually submitted a preliminary report, which they've submitted to the workers for comments. Then as soon as it's concluded, we'll submit it to EXCO for ratification and implementation thereof. I thank you.
Very much, if you are done.
No, thank you, Chair. Maybe just to add on GNT, because Honorable Chair, you've indicated you'll be visiting some of this depot. It's indeed a serious challenge, because the observation that one could make is that there seemed to be a deliberate move to collapse GNT. I tried to find out how many routes do we have which are subsidized, and we've got quite a number of routes that are subsidized. And the reason why government subsidized those routes, it's mainly to make sure that we reduce the cost of living, because the major cost driver of salaries of workers, it's transportation, not even food. So with the current fuel prices not stable, most of the workers go home with nothing. So that is why we can never allow GNT to collapse. Now you would realize that even amongst within themselves, the GNT executive, remember when the route, there's no bus, like you're saying, Palabora has got only one bus. It means the other routes are not being serviced. Then what does it mean? Transport department is putting a pressure on, it's got a pressure to say they must have the routes. So it means those routes must be taken by those of us who have got buses. And we get, that is the reason why GNT must collapse, so that we get those routes. We know those routes already. I hear this issue of saying, no, sometimes the stealing of diesel and what. Diesel is being stolen solely to make sure that the routes are being taken over, because without diesel, there's no bus that will be functioning. You can't have a mechanic, like in Makado Depot. I found 3 mechanics who have been working there since 2014, the other one 2017. They're saying they've never fixed any single bus because there are no equipment or parts, spare parts that are needed. It is only now that they have fixed one bus. We took students from TVET College in Skukun to go and do their own in-service training. I found the students also sitting under the tree to say, we're here to just loiter and wait for lunch to eat. Now, the workers in GNT have now become very agitating themselves, because they're asking me to say, Premier, we've employed to come, some of us are artisans. We were trained by the very same GNT to train. Now we can't practice our skill. And we can't be excited by that, to say we just get paid every month for doing nothing. There are buses that can be fixed and go back to the route. There are new buses that we are procuring, but if we can procure as many buses, but if we don't deal with the root cause, especially this one of us not wanting to buy spare parts, to make sure that the fuel is available, and also the revenue collection. We agree with the HOD for transport that he is going to implement that the cashless system, payment system, because that's the system that can help us for us to be able to collect revenue. This issue of saying bus drivers, you pay them and they put it, do you think they will be able to go and bank that money? Honestly, we went to Tawazimbi municipality where we were told that when you pay traffic fines, the money is put under under a table. They had put a box in a municipality. There's no cash. It's just in a room, in a hall like this, where there's a cashier. Everybody's sitting there. So you can see that really, sometimes we're just applying for corruption to happen. So that is why we're saying your visit will therefore assist us a lot. But I felt maybe I should just add that, so that you must look at this, at the background, to say the aim is to collapse GNT so that we take over the routes, because the transport will be needed. And those bus routes are subsidized by the state. And then we can easily make our own profit as private bus owners. So that's what you need to, hence we must guard against the collapse of GNT. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, thank you very much. What you have just said through the DG on the issue of Coxstar. Indeed, Coxstar are under the impression, or were under the impression, that their case was with the SIU, and the SIU is investigating. Until we made them aware that SIU can come and request evidence, but until the president issue a formal proclamation to say, proclamation what. If there is that proclamation, we know that they are doing work. But now there's nothing that is done. Maybe for your information, we have about eight cases which are with the SIU in the province, which are still ongoing, and 3 for Cockstar Health, Sekhukhune District Municipality, Mogalakwena, and Road Agency have been finalized. But GNT is having a case. Lepelle Nkumpi has a case. Department of Sports and Culture has a case. Lepelle Northern Water has a case with the SIU. Department of Health Medical has a case with the SIU. Department of Health again with medical waste, there is a case with the SIU. Mopani District Municipality, there's a case with the SIU. And then Department of Public Works. These are ongoing cases. So that is why I was saying, if we have all these cases within the Office of the Premier, within the Office of the Provincial Treasury, you will be able to assist this department. And you also have the authority to call the Hawks, to call the SIU to say, this case here, Department of Public Works, is of 2010. What are the difficulties? What are the difficulties? Because they are saying it's difficult to get information. They will even give specific cases to say, Kai, we went there, and then whenever they know that you are coming, they just lock the offices and you don't find anybody. And that is where you get in, so that we expedite the conclusion of these cases. So we just wanted to indicate that, and that is a resolution. It means it has not been implemented. And if you don't implement it, then we are having a very serious challenge with that issue. How do you make sure that others implement resolutions when your office, the office that is having money, the office that is having the whole accountability, responsibility, and monitoring of the accountability does not implement such a resolution? And I'm telling you, if you can have these cases and you ensure that on quarterly basis you check, you assist, it will assist our departments, because most of them will remain on unqualified audit, not because they have not improved, but because there is this case that is stuck in their books, and every year the AG is indicating that, what about this case? And there's nothing that they can do to resolve that case, because he's still with the Hawks. When they cry to the Hawks will just say, if you look at the responses that came from the police, because Gal is the one which is consistently, it looks like on quarterly basis, they write to the Hawks, to the police to say, where is our case? When you look at the responses, the person just say, and then he just, without even looking at the progress, just say, we're still busy, or we're very shallow. So, but if you are involved in those things, you can be able to assist them. Honorable Mabucha.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you very much, Chair. I said I would not come back until I'm provoked. So I felt provoked by what the DG said. But it's not a lot of issues, and it's something that I just want to give you as a homework, DG. One, DG, you know, when you said you have got a litigation management strategy and the LAF, the Office of the Premier is chairing the LAF. Now, I want to understand this. When you were advertising, when you advertise posts, you see, like maybe for the HOD of Treasury, you know, sometimes we look at them, you see, you'd advertise, or you want someone who is a CA. And then, no, I'm just giving an example. CFOs, usually, you want CAs, and it's a norm now that when you want to be a CFO, you must be a CA. And then when you want to be what engineer, I don't know which type of engineer, but you must be affiliated to a certain professional body, so that at least when you do certain things, there is a certain institution that you're accountable to. So now I just want to check, when you appoint this head of, maybe some of them might not be appointed by UDG, HODs. When you appoint, but at the end of the day, the buck stops at the Premier's office. When you appoint this head of legal services, do you consider those things that you consider when you appoint your CFOs and engineers and what? Or you just say you just want someone who has got a degree and then that's it? Because, you know, if you get someone who has done wrong things in the profession, he has been disbarred, and then he feels like, I'm desperate now, anything that comes, let me just take it. And given the type of problems that you have identified with the state attorney, now you have got this person, you have just hired him, he told you, he has got problems there with the professional body. Now, this person is responsible for your matters. But this person, maybe to a certain extent, he doesn't even have, yes, he went to university, but this person has never practiced. And you are saying that this person is responsible for all your legal matters. That's, I mean, you are creating a recipe for disaster for yourself. So I'm just saying, in the same breath that you do with professionalizing the state, you must also look at this particular aspect, because we are losing a lot of money. More especially when I was looking at your presentation there, I saw that when we are doing well is when the contingency liability is around 9 billion. And when we are doing bad is around 12 billion. So you can see, now people have realized already, they've become smart. They know already, when we want to clean our money, we go get our money via court order. Then we come back, our money is now clean. We have not stolen from anyone. This money has been granted to us by a court of law. So we're just saying, DG, please, this issue, please take it serious. We've got problems with the state attorney. DG, there's an issue of Davido. You know, it happened when I was still a small boy. I wanted to see Davido at Mapungubi. And Davido didn't come. And I bought a ticket at that time. So now, Chair, the department paid Davido 1.2 million. Till today, that money is unaccounted for. And year in, year out, when we meet with the department, when we meet a SCOPA or as a portfolio committee, when we meet the department, we are told stories. We met with that guy of State Attorney Chair. He came, I think it was during portfolio committee of sports. He came for the first time. He made those bare admissions that, look, I don't have capacity. I've got 7 attorneys, and then he told us, I've got 3 cleaners. We told him, hey, Chief, don't tell us about cleaners. And then he said he has got 6 candidate attorneys. We said candidate attorneys are still in training. They can't do the work. So basically you are 8. He said, yes, we are 8. This work is too much. We can't do it. Usually, the usual suspect is police and his Department of Health. And we must go, sometimes you'd find I must go to Tabazimbi, sometimes I must go to Guyani, sometimes I must go to Skukune, but I'm equally expected to be at the High Court. So how do I divide myself? There will be an agent application. Now I must drop everything. I drop everything. I focus on that agent application. And then it means that matter in Tabazimbi is going to suffer. Now the department must come and do a rescission of judgment. So, you see, I really don't know how you're going to do it, Premier. But something really needs to be done. We can't be told, you know, the second time he said, no, I'll come back with a full report and stuff. Then next time when we called him, he said he's not coming. It doesn't account to us as a portfolio. If we want any clarity, we must go to national. Then we're like, but how can this be? Here we are talking about the public purse of the people of Limpopo. Now we must go and drive to Gauteng to get answers. It can happen, Chair. You see? So I'm just saying, I don't know, Premier, find ways. The other thing, Chair, I think we raised it with you, Premier, last year, that the salary bill of leader and the SMTs really don't make sense. I think that, you know, you are talking about deploying people that are not going to boards, that are just not going to assist the province with anything. You know, the people working, the personnel at leader, I think they are the top earners. I think even some of you here don't earn even more than them, including you, DG. But even the SNTs, they are more than the salaries of some of the people here. But when you look at what they bring to the table and what we are giving them, and when they keep on coming to the department year in, year out to request for a bailout, I think you must, you know, we said it to you last year, Premier, you said, no, the board is still new, you know, they've got strategies, let's give them time, and so on. And we understood that, look, we can't be hard on them, but because they're still new. But, you know, we can't be new forever. You can't be new for 12 months. Because when we recruited you, we thought we were recruiting the best of the best in the business. So I'm just saying, Chair, that something needs to give. Something needs to change. We need to change the culture that is there at leader. It is a dumping ground of people, and they just go there to behave like those drivers of GNT that the Premier met somewhere. Because we are really not getting value for money. It's fine, let me leave it here. Thank you very much, Chair.
Yeah, I think maybe the last thing.
No, before I forget, Chair. Sorry, Chair.
No,
Chair, HOD. No, not HOD.
Honorable Wabuja.
No, last one, Chair. It's the last one.
But you're not
Honest.
given chance to.
No, I'm
to
sorry.
give the
Chair.
last.
My apologies.
Can you request and then I'll decide
Chair,
if
can
I
I
give you.
just make a last input?
Okay, you can go.
Thank you.
on.
DG, I heard you making presentation here. Can I refer you to a meeting of the 21st February 2024? I think the Premier was not yet in office. There was an HOD forum. Oh, maybe you were not there. I don't know whether you attend HOD forums or what, but the HOD of Treasury must be there. There was an HOD forum that was held on the 21st of February 2024, which took a decision to centralize lifestyle audit in the office of the Premier. It's here in black and white. So, Chair, I don't know which is which now, but departments, the truth of the matter is we are unable to execute our oversight duties, because when you meet someone and then this person tells you, I can't do this because this power has been taken away from me, it is in the office of the Premier and I can't do anything, then you can't be hard on that person, because this person, you are expecting that this person is being genuine and honest with you. So now, we have met the boss now, or boss, but today, but this thing is in your office. And therefore, Chair, I think I have raised my point. I have directed the HOD, maybe DG, I'm not sure, but there was an HOD forum that was held on the 21st, a few days after Valentine of February 2024. You are not yet at the Premier. Yes. So, Chair, that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Maybe Honorable Premier, like what the Office of the Treasury is doing in every hearing, we have them with us. And they are able to clarify all this misconception that we are receiving. So when a department is here to say this, we are waiting for a response from the treasury. We just quickly say, Metin Diza is here, Ms. Chocho is here, can you refer, do you have that case? Same time, and we dispose that issue. So maybe in our hearings, we need to have a representative from the Premier, so that people should not come here and give us stories that are not existing. Maybe we should just take that route. Because there are a lot of things that they will say, no, this one, and we remain with question. When you come to you, say, no, that we don't know about all these things. But I also want you, Premier, Honorable Premier, to zoom into this issue, this settlement of the CEO, the CFO, and the COO of GNT. Because we'll wake up one day with a litigation where the two are saying, no, you did not honor your promises or whatever in terms of the agreement, because we are not sure of the agreement that they've reached. But it may be twisted. So can you zoom directly? Certain problems as and when they emerge, especially in entities or subsidiaries like the GNT where there are problems. If there is something like this, you must just quickly go and look at what is it, so that when it grows, we are not all surprised. So I'm recommending that at least go into and just try to understand what agreement have they entered into, and what may be the impact of it in future. It's a trauma, so that if there are challenges, we need to deal with them. Are there any other comments or questions? Maybe let's give I can see the hand from the...
Thank you very much, Chair. Just a very quick one on why we have condoned the one expenditure which went for investigation. The framework's very clear that even for a disciplinary hearing, you just have to initiate. You must report the matter to SAPS and get a case number. So once that's done, we can condone. But our condonation is subject to, if anything comes out of that investigation, we will rescind our condonation. But the framework has got a gap there, which is a problem that we need to address with National Treasury. It's not our framework. So in the past, a lot of our regulars weren't approved because there weren't disciplinary outcomes, there wasn't cases finalized, everything was standing back. And National put out the framework then to say, as long as you've initiated and you've reported it to SAPS and got a case number, you can condone. And that's why we have condoned that particular expenditure in RAL. So while it is an investigation, but our letter is also very clear that it's subject to, if something comes out of that, we will then review our decision subject to that investigation. Just to clarify. Thanks, Chair.
Yeah, that one, Honorable MEC and Premier. And Metin Diza will tell you that it was in this very same venue where we felt that there is a misunderstanding between the AG and the Treasury on the same issue. So we then said, maybe let's have a common understanding. What is it, so that you don't condone and then they go and make it a finding. And then when you come back, we say, no, but it's fine, but no, it's not fine. In the eyes of the public, it does not give us a very good image, because they say these are the accounting officers, these are the oversight structures. But if they differ, if Treasury and AG can differ on which one do we condone or when do we condone, then we are just recommending that at least just get it up until you close that particular gap, so that once you have submitted and then the Treasury has approved, we know that that is what the AG will approve as well. So we're just appealing. Yeah, if the Premier, maybe as you are.
No, thank you, Chair, once more. I think on the issue of the 21st February resolution 2024, you rightfully so. We are at the 7th administration. We have decentralized, but at the end of the day, the office of the Premier still remain accountable for any lifestyle audit. Maybe there could be that misinterpretation to say departments can do their own lifestyle audit, but ultimately, the people who must account, while Limpopo people, employees, there's no lifestyle audit, is the office of the Premier. I think I hope it's clear. On the issue of Treasury being here, Ms. Jojo being here full time with you, I think the DG will have to see who can be somebody from the planning and monitoring to be here full time, and so that some issues like these ones can be clarified, because it's easier to say it's office of the Premier. If we can change and the Ms. Jojo will withdraw, it will be Treasury. Che, you'll remember how much you fought on this issue of saying teachers' posts are not filled because of PPMC. And as at some stage, I was part of, me and you were on the other side fighting the then administration because of the appointments. I left you, I joined this side first. It was difficult when now we have, since we stabilized the wage bill and developed systems, because the issue was there were no systems. Had we allowed free for all, Limpopo will not be financially stable. And I will continue to defend that note, it's note what? Note 7. I've even forgotten that it's note 7. I will continue to defend it because it came in when we were in trouble. Because the administration just came in at a time where there was a time where they couldn't even pay salaries. Now when they come in, one of the things you need to stabilize the wage bill. You'll remember that when we are going to conference, we just easily advertise posts and just fill them in, just for us to cause problems. And you, I mean, for many years, the Premier would, the former Premier would say, the office of the Premier had the highest number of employees than any other office of the Premier. I know Health Department, Limpopo would have 8 DDG levels at DDG. When you look at Western Cape, which is much bigger, would only have, I think, if 2 or 3 DDGs who reports to the HOD. So today, you know that we've only got 4. We left, when I left that department, it was left with 4 DDGs. So we've been able to address this issue. When somebody leaves the system, we don't fill the post, we restructure, we attend to that. Now, after doing that, what the DG was presenting, we've been able to come in with this system that every year, all departments, they bring their own plan like they do with the procurement plan. They bring the procurement plan, we approve. They bring their own HR plan, we approve. But now they must tell you the truth. They are failing to fill in the post. A post is advertised for 6 months without filling. We had a session with them, all our HR managers and all our CFOs, and we dealt with this issue frankly and openly, that on a quarterly basis, we're going to receive. That's why you hear the DG says, all the posts that were advertised by September, if they are not filled, heads must roll. Because we are now operating, having to start on a level that has been, the playing field has been leveled such that all of us are at par and understand what needs to be done. On the salaries of the, yes, it's true, you said it, you even read some of them. I can tell you we are working on it. For instance, we started with the policy, even for the sitting. I already received complaints from board members to say we have cut them at 8 maximum. You know, they've written to me to say now we've cut them to 8. We've tried to check with the university councils, how often do you meet? Even other, per annum it's 8. Now if you start to be meeting every day, You know, you have become a part of the executives now. You are no longer board. So that was what also was increasing that. So we have been able to come up with the policy. We are implementing them. It's not easy. Yesterday in our exco, they brought in a long list of posts that they want, which confirmed what Honorable Mabucha was raising, to say, yes, indeed, some of them, they are earning twice the DG. Some of them, that is why we even have a problem where we look at some of the salaries. You'll find a group leader CEO having a subsidiary CEO earning more than the group CEO. And when this very same group, subsidiary, does not generate revenue, still asking the group leader CEO to give them money to appoint themselves. That's the reality of what's happening. So somebody come to you and say, give me money. It's your subordinate. Give me money to appoint myself at a higher level than yours. This is what is currently happening. So there are some, like CMR, we told them, no, we are not approving. Dr. Slapelo brought that presentation. We said, no, we refuse. CMR, they are supposed to generate money. Why should we appoint people for what? These are mines. What are they doing with those mines? They must make money for us. We agree on a GNT for reasons that we have already explained. Fita Khomutubat SCZ, they wanted the CEO and so many people. We told them no. The HODs had approved, because people think that when it leaves the HOD and the DGs and the HODs having been approved, when it comes to us politicians, because these ones are, yes, in our interview, these ones must have masters and all that. Rena, you don't need that. You just need a hand. If you can get more hands, the more the hands are, the higher the post. So what we did as executive council, we look, we scrutinize, and we knew that, remember, sometimes our administrators, the HODs and the DGs, might not be vocal because they are looking at me as a political principal. Perhaps I'm the one who wants this post. So there's no way that HOD Prat will say, let's not accept the posts that are needed by MEC Mawai. So in the EXCO, that's where the colleagues of MEC Mawai are, to tell MEC Mawai, we're not going to fund this post. And that's exactly what we did yesterday. We refuse. Fitahomutuvatsi, SCZ, they don't need. They were having an acting CEO, they must continue. We first appoint the board, establish the board, know exactly what we need. Otherwise, you will do the Musina Makado SCZ problem, where you know you are in the initial phase of the SCZ. Instead of you to go and appoint people within the building or construction environment, you are a civil engineer, you go and take Comrade Thabo Mabucha to be the CEO there. Then for 7 years, nothing happened, because we need bulk infrastructure for you to be able to start with that. So that is the issue that we are currently dealing with. So now, even Musina Makado SCZ, they brought 2 more posts. Guess what? Agro-processing. We are saying to them, the first tenant, it's Minister Jose Nzuramu Hope. We have agreed with him. He's working on something. He will make pronouncement at the right time. Now, while we're busy with that, perhaps maybe you were supposed to be looking at renewable energy specialist. You go and say you want somebody who will come and do agro-processing. Have you started to even, you don't even have anything. Yeah, I agree, there are many avocados there which you want to agro-process and look like your premium, because she depends on them. But unfortunately, we have not reached that stage. So that's why we refuse as EXCO those posts. If they come and cry to say Premier's office have refused, it's based on that. We have refused based on that. So salaries, the last one is that we even say all these boards must go and meet and review these salaries. They were told there's no new salary. You see, when somebody has exited the post, they give you an opportunity to do a salary evaluation. You can't, when somebody has left, you just want to advertise at the same. That's why in public service there is job evaluation before we can even fill in a post. We first look at what is it really requiring to be level 14 or 15 or 16, this particular post. But in our SOE, like you're saying, it was a park station. Now, SOEs, I still repeat, we are committed as 7th Administration to make sure that we utilize them towards building an inclusive growth in our province. And Chair, with your support and the support of the SCOPA, we are going to get where we want to. We've got 3 years. It's not a lot. Somebody can think 3 years is too much. 3 years is not a lot. But within these 3 years, all these SOEs must have been alive and self-sustainable.
Thank you very much. And as we are going towards closure, I want us to agree on one. We want to meet with the Audit Committee, Office of the Treasury. Can you make sure that that is possible, and so that when we start with another cycle of audit outcomes, at least we've engaged all the. But the other thing, maybe, you know, I agree, Premier, you know, now I'm from class. So when you are giving responsibility, don't say, "Lenamo ke lena le tlo fiela." No, you must say, "Popira Matiwa, you're going to sweep today." If you want the class to be clean. So we are reworking that resolution. Ya gore, they must do a list of all the cases. We are reworking on that case to say the Office of the Treasury, please ensure that we have got a list. And why am I directing you is because I know to a certain extent you have some of those cases. The only thing is that you have those which have been reported to you. And you are going to work with our researchers. They have that information. In fact, I'm just blaming you because even our staff have failed because we also agreed that they must have their own list so that we compare it with yours. So now that thing is led by you, but they will assist you. And I'm proposing that after we have got all the list of those cases, we meet with the Office of the Premier to see where can we assist. Because I'm telling you, Honorable Premier, if we don't assist those departments, we will remain at clean audit, 5 departments only. Because every time the AG is having a finding on this case because it's not concluded. So we are wishing that maybe within our lifetime in the 7th Administration, we have all the departments clean audit. But as long as we don't assist them with these cases, it will remain a dream. So we are going to meet having all the lists. Maybe we can even in that meeting agree that we request the SIU, we request the Hawks, and we give them those lists to say, where are you on this one? They will tell you, half of them you may find that they don't even know them. So where is our program? That is a resolution, but at least we'll be assisted from our staff. Premier, what are you saying on item number 7? Comments by the Premier and the MEC. I'm not sure if maybe we study the MEC or you will speak on his behalf.
Thank you. As we have already indicated, on behalf of the collective, the full house, the team, we want to appreciate this opportunity, and we take note of what honorable members have raised. It is very clear that we are on the same path towards the development of our province. We want to appreciate the fact that honorable members, some of you have even raised issues that we were not even aware of. So had we not appear in front of you, we will not have known, because you are doing oversight, you are interacting with our different departments. And what is critical is that you strategically had to wait until you meet all the departments. And when you are coming to us, it's not just for us to appear on you, but it's also for you to make us aware as to this is how departments are performing and how they perceive our supervision role to the work that they do every day. And the fact that now when we come to this hearing, we come jointly with Treasury, we really appreciate that because together we are then able to go and implement this resolution jointly. But also the issues of those cases for the SIU, we will definitely, through the DG and the HOD, they will invite SIU so that together with the MEC and the Premier, we then go through all these cases, even those that we might not have implemented the recommendations, we should be able to, starting with the Jane First one, we will, because even now the DG has just received again a note to say the matter, the two words, not Jane First, sorry, the 2 words, one land issue, that the matter was with the Hawks referred it to SIU, but we will have to get it really ourselves as to what has transpired and what has happened. But from our side, we are really appreciating this opportunity. It's not every day that you appear on SCOPA. Sometimes you come, you greet, they chase you away. So to appear in SCOPA, and you are given an opportunity to respond on your behalf, it's an achievement. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much. Lerna, we appreciate your commitment to come, even though you have postponed a lot of times. I was even saying, no, this time there's no postponement. I'll just have to use my powers as the chair of SCOPA to ensure that the Premier comes. She must just postpone everything that she's having. Now she must postpone, come to SCOPA. But we really appreciate that you did, because we are done with all the departments. We are done with all the resolutions. We have adopted them. We're just waiting for this meeting so that we make an indication in the House that we are ready for tabling. So today, I think we can be able, you can say, no, we are ready to table. When we go back to the legislature, we can table. But we are really saying we must not meet only during the public hearings, especially as we are all within the cycle of overseeing the departments. There's information that comes in between the hearings that we need to share, that we need an update on. Some of the things may not wait for the public hearing. For example, this overpayment that the service provider said, no, I want to pay, give me the account number. And then we say, no, let me go and hear what the legal people are saying about giving you the phone. I mean, this one, we should not wait for and you must tell them that it's not going to wait for the next hearing. Before now, from now and before, we must get the progress on that particular issue. Because one of the issues is that we must follow the money. Where is it is difficult to understand, but where is we must just get that money and it goes back to the coffers of the government. So we really appreciate you, and I also appreciate the committee members, the AG in absentia. They had to go and attend to other things. Ms. Chocho, our staff. Today is on that other side. So, Nasaru acknowledge more. But we really appreciate Metindisa, because she is always with us and then guides us when we have got information. Because we, like I've indicated, Premier, that when we are with the department and they say something, we quickly just draw the evidence and say, what you are telling us is not true. This is from the Treasury and you've not submitted anything. So we expose everything on the spot. So we are really appreciating the Office of the Premier and your entourage, Office of the MEC and your entourage, our staff, everybody, we really appreciate it. Let's keep the light of oversight burning until we get a clean governance. Thank you very much. And are there announcements?
Oh, thank you very much. We have got afternoon tea out in the foyer.
Thank you very much. Close. Oscar,